everyone, welcome to J&D Gardens. It's a beautiful fall day, and in case you didn't know, fall is our favorite season, and we just loaded up with some of our favorite plants. Things like different varieties of decorative kale and lettuce cabbages, and all different colors we could find of mums. They are great fall plants. Now, we actually used to grow these ourselves, but in order to get them to the size that we wanted, we'd have to start them in early summer to be ready for the fall. And truth be told, we just don't have the room in our gardens for them. So we actually just buy them from local nurseries. Don't they look great? So if you're not familiar with these plants, we figured this would be a great opportunity to show you how to get them in the ground. So come with me. Okay, so we're in front of planter bed number 1, and what I've done is lay out all of our plants based on our plan, which is good practice because you want to take one last look and make sure that you like the arrangement as well as the spacing before you start planting. I like it. So let's get started. Okay, so we have our first mum, and what I like to do is I actually spaced everything out and I arranged it to where I want the plants to go. So what I do is I take the pot that the plant's in, I don't take it out just yet, and I actually kind of like make an indentation in the dirt as to where I'm going to dig. And then I remove it, and then basically what I'm doing is I'm just removing the dirt where I'm going to put the pot. It's actually very simple. And we amended this with fresh compost. So it's really nice and soft dirt. So it makes it really, really easy to remove the dirt. Sometimes if you have dirt that's been settled for like all season or something, it's not that easy to move, but this acts like a shovel, so I tend to like this tool. And then of course you can always get your hands dirty too, which I prefer to do. That's why I probably go through a lot of gloves, but it's worth it. Okay, so we now have our hole, and what I like to use is the Miracle-Gro Shake and Feed because we're not eating these plants, so therefore we're just going to sprinkle a little bit in the hole, put it aside, take your mum, make sure that it's positioned right before you start planting, and then if it has a hole in the bottom of the pot, just kind of put your finger in there and it pushes it out a little bit easier. If it has any pellets in it, try to get the pellets out and put it in the hole. I like to actually break up the bottom of the soil, and then not too much, but just a little bit, just breaks it up. And then push it down because it's got to meet like the same height as your soil line. So then push the dirt back in that you just took out. And like I said, this is compost, so it's really, really easy to work with. It's beautiful stuff, really. It's my favorite stuff to work with. And pretty much that's it for the mum. Just make sure that you have enough soil. Get it from the back, push it toward the middle of the roots, and push down on it a little bit. Make sure it gets established, and that's the mum. We're going to move on to the cabbage plant. Same principle, same exact thing. I already have my pellets for it. Make sure that you put this in a place that you're not going to spill it by accident. I've done that many times. Okay, so we're going to take the cabbage plant, make an indentation, and if you want, you can actually use a handy dandy scoop. There's several different tools you can use. I find that if you're going to go a little bit deeper, the scoop really comes in handy. And it goes pretty quick too, actually. But if you don't have a scoop, a trowel would work. Or, like I said, you could always get your hands dirty. Okay. Now, if you want to test the size that you dug, just put your pot back in there and make sure that it fits. This is perfect. So I'm okay with that. And don't forget to put your pellets in, your fertilizer. You want these plants to grow nice and healthy. And again, this pot has a hole in it, so I kind of just push it along and break up the bottom of it, not too much. And if it has any bad leaves on it, take it out, discard it in the pot that you just emptied. And compost is so easy to work with. It's beautiful stuff, beautiful, love it. And not to mention the plants love it. So it's a win-win. Okay, so our cabbage plant is now done. Moving right along. And this kind of becomes like an assembly line once you get started. It's very simple. So now we have some water lines that we want to make sure that we have in the middle of both plants. So I already put them in their positions. You can always move it if you wanted to, but I like it right there, right in the middle. Okay, made our indentation. I'm going to use the scoop. The scoop, you get really deep with it. Okay. Now this hole might not be wide enough, but that's why we test it. And I try to put dirt on all sides of the plant when I'm taking it out of the hole. That way, when I fill it, I can fill it in all different directions. It's easy that way. This plant has a little bit of roots. It's been established already, really. So I'm just going to help it along by breaking it up a little bit. And like I said, you want to position it before putting it in the hole. See, a bad leaf came off already. That's fine. It was probably going to come off anyway. Okay. Push it down a little bit, make sure it's established. Make sure the water line is going to get to both plants. So put it right in the middle. Okay, that one's done. Moving along. You just move right down the line. And again, it's going to be the same thing. Except this time I do have to get more pellets. indentation. I like the scoop because it takes a lot of dirt all at once. Look at that. Nice. That's my handy dandy scoop. Love it. Has multi-purposes. Look at that. Look at all that dirt. Nice. And we're going to test it to make sure the hole is wide enough. Which I think with this one it will be, but let's just test it, make sure. And this scoop is even getting down, all the way down to the ground cloth. That's how deep it can go. So if that happens, what you do is just put a little bit of dirt on the bottom. Make sure that you don't see the ground cloth. Just put a little bit of dirt, it's fine. Oh, actually, before I do that, I want to make sure. Now see, that's a tight fit, but that'll work. But next time I dig, I want to get a little bit wider. And I want to position this. I think I like that one. Okay. Pellets. Break it up. Push it down, and then just push the dirt near the roots, or near the stem, I should say. Sorry about that. All right, and just watch all the water lines. Actually, you can remove the water line until you get it established. That's probably the best way to do it. If you see any leaves or anything, just take them out. Okay, push it down. Make sure that there's some soil by the stem and push that down. Okay, and then don't forget to put your water line back. We're done with this bed already. On to the next one. Okay, so I think we're done with this planter. Only 8 more to go. All right, so I'm just about finished. Just a few more and I'm done. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something. If you did, please leave us a comment. We would absolutely love to hear from you. And I hope you guys give some of these plants a try in your fall garden. We'll bring you a future video on how all of these plants are doing and some of our fall decorations too. And if you enjoy our videos, please support the channel by hitting like and subscribe. And definitely share it with a friend. So until next time, remember, yes we canna.